But the interesting thing, we know this. Last week you proclaimed that
he's been about 3 now.
That it's done. Well, but I'm just saying the latest. Josh Allen, it's his. It's he's the MVP. It's all over. I said, no, it's not over yet.
Right.
I didn't think so. I thought the door was still open, and he had a couple of games that could help him, and I mean him being Lamar Jackson, and I thought if he could beat the Steelers and play well,
which he normally struggles with.
Right?
Yeah.
So which is a feather in his cap, which he did, 3 touchdowns, 1 pick. And had a really good
game. Big win. That was a big win.
Big win. Big win. Because now they're tied in the division. They can win the division now. So that was big. And now they play the Texans, right, on Christmas.
Yeah.
What's coming up?
That's a good team. It seems like
that's another. If you remember last year, I bring it up all the time.
The 49ers.
49ers. That's when he won the MVP last year. Remember, on Christmas night.
It was him, Brock Purdy, Josh Allen, those kind of three.
And then he had a big game and blew out the 49ers, and that kind of, I think a lot of people saw that. So if he could have another big game against the Texans, he could really be in a good spot. And then on the flip side, your guy, Josh Allen, had a stinker against the Patriots. You saw the numbers just weren't that good, right?
But this is where. So first off, I have said 1,000 times, and people have gone crazy on social media saying how crazy I am, and even you are, for thinking that Lamar Jackson is better than Josh Allen, which is what I keep saying. Lamar Jackson, let me make this clear. Ryan, you got it up? Alex, my mic up? Lamar Jackson's the best player in the NFL, okay? I've been saying it all year, but I also know how voting goes, storyline goes, narratives go for an MVP, and that's in the NBA, that can be in baseball. That's just the way it is. We know the best player doesn't always win. Michael Jordan would have had way more MVP awards if it were simply that, but that's not the case. The issue, this is what we talked about, Rob. My thing was that in order for Josh to be surpassed, he would have to have a Rob Parker extreme bad game where you're like, what if he has a horrible one? 2 pick sixes, only 80 yards, but this wasn't that. This was a game. And a meh game to me didn't have Lamar passing him for some people. He still got the better record, which ultimately is probably going to be the thing that matters.
Okay, but they also played head-to-head.
And they have played head. And Lamar won, and he looked better.
Okay, all right.
I just think for
They're
where Josh Allen.
Apart. It's not like Josh Allen.
No, for sure.
It's two games. It's 2 games
but
different.
It's going to require him to have had a loss to the Patriots and a horrible game. 2 pick sixes, something, and you lost to the Patriots. But he actually, the Bills have the easiest record or easiest schedule, the remainder of the schedule.
But that's the scary part.
Is
and
you
that's
lose
why,
to these bad teams.
Or don't play well like he did against the Patriots.
Right.
Now, when Lamar played the bad Giants, he had 5 touchdowns. He had a ridiculous passer rate. Do you see what I'm saying? Like that's what you're supposed to do.
That's what you're supposed to do with bad teams.
Against the bad team.
100%.
And in this case, this is one. Now he's got 2 more bad games. And you can't have another clunker or a bad outing or, like you say, all I'm saying is if Lamar lights up the Texans and throws 4 touchdowns, no picks.
It's not crazy for him.
Right, and has a really big game on Christmas with everybody watching, all of a sudden, right, and they win their 11th game. Don't forget that Lamar's story and narrative is they started the season 0-2. Teams that start 0-2, Ryan, look it up. Teams that start 0-2 in the NFL, they don't make the playoffs that often.
Very few.
It's a small number. And that's why that's so impressive.
And we said it. We said
it.
The
season ain't over, right? We knew it. We both said it.
They could have beaten the game 1 against the Chiefs. And just like we were texting our little group chat, I'm like, how do you beat Lamar and Derrick Henry? I can't believe they actually lost 5 games.
Right.
Because when you watch them at their best or even at their most solid, you're like, well, how do you beat them? Lamar is doing video games, scramble, just flicking it 35 yards across the field to catch touchdown. And then Derrick Henry, you're like, dude, do you know you're old for running back age? What are you doing running for $162, outrunning defensive backs, and you're 6'3", 260? Like, that's not supposed to be happening. And the defense is starting to pick up a little bit. That was a big win for them against the Steelers because
it
it wasn't a
really,
field goal where at the end. They look dominant and heading towards the right time of the season. That's where you want to be, right? So to your point, maybe larger than even just simply an MVP, because at the end of the day, let's say he doesn't win an MVP, Lamar, ultimately he wants to get that monkey off his back and get to a Super Bowl. And obviously you want to get there and hopefully win, but at least get there. So if they can start picking up, playing right at the right time of the season, which is obviously what most folks do as you start gearing up, the ones who end up winning ultimately, if they can start doing that, that'll be huge for them, man, because this can start to really X out those things that they said he couldn't do. They said Lamar couldn't pass. He's been passing. High QB already. Said he couldn't make big throws. He's made big throws. He has to have X, Y, and Z. Well, he had a bunch of guys injured last year and still won a bunch of games.
He can't beat the Steelers.
He's got Derrick Henry still. Can't beat the Steelers. Beating the Steelers. So to me, this is going great for them as they're heading towards the postseason. But Josh Allen, it's literally, to me, it's his, all you got to do is hold it, be what you've been. You don't have to even be exceptional. You don't have to make any more Superman plays. You've made enough of those. I call them Heisman moments, even though it's the MVP. Josh Allen has enough Heisman moments. He has a better record. And
but that's it. Lamar leads in every
number. I know.
And every single number.
He's dwarfing his own MVP season last year.
Yes. And that's the part that's so crazy is when the voters look at it. And you remember, it's the total season.
Yeah.
So there were moments, had they voted after he beat the Chiefs, then he would have won.
Mm-hmm.
There's no doubt in my mind. But as you go further along, and this is what I was trying to bring up about last year, is that game on Christmas night with the whole country watching, you know that.
Down. Yeah.
That's what people look at. And what people will see on Wednesday will be like, wow, Lamar, and then you'll see the eye-popping numbers, and he's leading in every category, and these just won their 11th game. Do you know what I'm saying?
Listen to these numbers. For a dude who they said couldn't pass, he's completing 68% of his passes. He has 37, we'll just call it almost 3,800.
Oh,
30, I was going to say yards. He has 3,787 yards. He has 37 passing touchdowns.
37.
Passing.
With two games to go.
Correct. And then you start to, because he's a dual threat. Well, what has he been doing on the ground, Kelvin? Well, I'll tell you. On the ground, he has 765 yards plus another 3 touchdowns. So, I mean, it's been remarkable what he's done. And again, he's surpassing last season where he won. If you're looking at interceptions, he only has, what is it, 3? 4 now?
Because he had one more.
Yeah, he had 4. So he's at 4. And then
we talked about the first 3.
Not even his fault.
All 3 came off of receivers.
You look at Josh Allen. Numbers are amazing as well, but they're not Lamar's. I mean, you look at Josh Allen. So look at his. Yep. He has completion percentage significantly lower. Well, I'll round it up like I did Lamar's, 64%.
Okay, so 68 to 64.
Mm-hmm. 3,500 passing yards.
Lamar has 38.
26 passing touchdowns.
Lamar has 37.
And obviously, you start to look at, let's see, here we go, the interceptions.
He has 6.
He has 6 interceptions.
Lamar has
being
4.
Josh Allen.
Yep.
And then he does have a bunch of rushing touchdowns. So you do got to.
He has 11 to 3.
Yeah, he has a bunch of rushing, 11 to 3 in that regard. So, I mean, they're both having amazing seasons, separate of themselves, of the other person, I should say. But Lamar is just having an insane. But I told you, I think he's making it look easy-itis. He has make it look easy-itis, where you start to take it for granted, where you're like, that's just Lamar. Hey, man, did you know Lamar had 3 touchdowns? And that's what he do. Make it look easy-itis is a real thing, Rob.
But the only reason I don't buy into what you're saying, I'm going to tell you why. They gave Brett Favre the MVP 3 years in a row. And
you could. And Barry Sanders, I'm still mad about a couple of them.
But you could have said, they got tired, voters fatigue. They didn't have voters fatigue for Brett Favre. Okay, and Brett Favre used to throw a ton of interceptions as well, and they overlooked them.
I do want to look up who was in those. Who I know Barry was in at least
they tied.
One of those.
Right, 1 year.
But I want to know the other couple, because meaning were they as compelling? Because maybe he was in a league by himself.
But I'm just saying.
Point.
But still, they weren't trying to find somebody else. He was that guy, and that's if you're.
I'm gonna look that up real quick.
If you're a voter, though,
Ryan, look that up for me. Who those 3 years that Brett Favre, I think it was like 95, 6, and 7, I believe it was. Who finished second and third? Like, were there? Because I want to know if anybody was even. Because this is Lamar Jackson's season is MVP 99.9% of the years. This is another MVP year. But what Josh Allen is doing with a team that has, not devoid of talent, but doesn't have a bunch. And obviously, his record's great. The only team to beat Kansas City. Those are the things in his favor. But if you're Lamar, you're sitting there like, well, what? I already beat the man. But I just think my point has always been, I think people are going to like that Josh has a better record. That Josh's team is playing better. They're the number one in offense outside of the
But the
Lions.
better record is Slim, and Lamar beat him.
He did beat him.
That's the only thing that, like, okay, if you're going to do that, then you go, well, what's the head-to-head matchup? And what was the game against? Was it against the Texans? Where Josh had 60 yards?
Yeah, he had like 80, 90 yards or something like that. Yeah, it wasn't great.
Yeah, he had one of those as well. Lamar hasn't had anything
like
that.
Those rushing touchdowns are going to help him, obviously. But listen, yeah, I want to know. Ryan, you can tell when we come back if you want, just for time's sake.
You got it?
You got him?
I got him, yes. Okay. So in 95 when Favre won, Jerry Rice finished second.
So there's a big-time player.
Yeah.
There you go.
Emmitt Smith finished third.
Receiver. You know they ain't going to give it to no receiver.
In 96, John Elway finished second. Terrell Davis third. Jerome Bettis fourth. But they were 5.5 votes, 2 votes, so not much.
Not much, okay.
In 97, Barry Sanders. Yeah. Favre won. Barry Sanders.
Barry had 2,000 that year? I think that might have been. Yeah, that was the year he had 2,000. Yeah. By the way, Saquon Barkley is sitting over here like, hello? Y'all not even talking about me.
No, that's the crazy part because, and we'll get into that in hour number 3.
I got a really hot take.
Okay, we'll do that.
Josh Allen is going to win the MVP, I believe. That's just the way it's going to be. And you have Rob says Lamar Jackson's hanging around. The door's still open. What say you? 877-99 on the Fox. Who we got?
All right, now here's the best. We're going to start with 2, all right?
All right, okay.
So we're going to start with Ralph in Syracuse, and then we're going to go to Bert in Baltimore. Okay. So it's just interesting, all right, that these two, because Syracuse, Buffalo.
Yeah, whatever. I see what's going on.
All right, Ralph in Syracuse, you're on the Odd Couple, Fox Sports Radio. What's up?
Hey, what up, guys? Great show. Great show.
Appreciate you.
Yes, thank you.
Hey, listen, Lamar got his, all right? He's a star. He's great. Lamar got his. Josh is our hero out here. You know, he's got a cape. We got special Josh Allen cereal out here in New York State. So it's Josh Allen's time.
All right, but that's nice to say, but I'm asking you about the numbers. Like Lamar has better numbers in every category.
Hey, numbers, schmumbers. You see the highlight reels. You see the snow globe games. He's catching. You know, he's got those rushing touchdown highlight reel with the lateral. He's a superstar. You know, it's his time.
All right, appreciate it. Hey, see, he just simply told you the time. It's just his time.
Well, let's talk to Bert in Baltimore. You're on the Odd Couple Fox Sports Radio.
Yo, guys, what's up? We love you.
Thank you.
I got a message from Santa. I got a message from Santa. For the night before Christmas and all through the house, not a creature or stirring, not even a mouse. Josh, you got to sit on the couch. Lamar, he's the best guy, MVP, no doubt. Now, let me tell you this. I want to be a serial killer. Josh, it's not his time. It's not about it's your time. It's about did you earn it?
Right.
Josh is great, yeah, but you know Lamar. 4th and 5, game on line. Our locker room, Superman flies. The ultimate weapon that can't be stopped. Bringing Metamite to me is make him drop. Mama's opportunity, he's the quarterback. He became a Wiseman. Lamar got the Heisman. Should have been too. It was not about that. At the combine, the scouts got flying. He wouldn't run. I'd rather that. Lamar is the man. Look, our defense was working on it at the beginning of the year. Lamar, our team should be like almost undefeated. Lamar's done his job. He's been incredible. He's way ahead of Josh. You don't give a guy because you think, he hasn't got it.
No, all right. I agree with that.
Thank you, Bert. Appreciate it.
Yes.
Bert been in that eggnog.
REL.
Bert been in an adult eggnog a little bit. Andy Steve get a little excited.
But let me. Ryan, though, did the research and gave us the numbers. We talked about
0-2.
Started 0-2.
Yeah.
Thanks,
yep.
Ryan. Here it is. From 1970 to 2022, 39 of the 407 teams that started 0-2 made the playoffs. So it's like 9%. So it's not. Wow. It doesn't happen all the time. And we knew despite the 0-2 start,
if anybody would do it, it'd be them.
They would be the
It's not
Ravens.
even far-fetched that they could not only just make the playoffs, they could mess around and win the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Like, that's not – they're not
especially
gonna
if the
shock
defense
anybody.
gets better, continues to get better.
They just need to be a Detroit Lions-type defense lately, not against the Bills, but just meaning bend, don't break, because our offense is going to do what we do. That kind of thing.
Andrew in Bakersfield, California, you're on the Odd Couple
What's
Fox
up,
Sports
Andrew?
Radio.
What's up, guys? Merry Christmas.
Merry
Same to you.
Christmas. What's up, buddy?
All right, just want to make it quick on voter fatigue. I got a top 5 list of top sports history travesties, and my number 6 honorable mention is when Kobe didn't get the MVP
Steve
for
Nash.
like 1 or 2 years, and people would chant MVP whenever he touched the ball, and we're still chanting MVP.
Yeah,
Yep.
that was Steve Nash who
Steve
who
Nash
robbed
won
him a couple of that.
back-to-back.
He took one from Shaq. A lot of people felt. He took one from
Well,
Kobe.
but they split the vote because they were
Yeah.
both great on the same team. That's
yeah,
what
and
happened.
also too, Steve Nash, what he's doing is getting those teams to that number 1 seed and change the style of play too.
Andrew, where are you on this one?
I think you got to wait till the end of the season, and if the Chiefs remain undefeated, you got to include the fact that the Bills were the only team to beat the Chiefs.
Well, with the one loss, like you were saying.
But what if just hear me out, Andrew.
Yeah.
What if he has a stinker? Seriously, in these last 2 games against a bad team, Lamar finishes strong in the last 2, beats the Texans, looks impressive in front of a national TV audience on Christmas, and all the numbers are better. Except for the rushing touchdowns, all the numbers are better. How do you deny a guy who won an MVP last year with far less numbers?
Well, whoever deserves it should get it.
Okay.
Well,
All right,
hey, man,
thanks
you
for the
know what?
call.
We need more. That was so simple in life. That
Dre,
don't work life. That don't work in the household. Hey, Ryan, don't tell your lady that, hey, baby, I deserve it. Don't listen to him. Andrew going to have you on the couch.
real quick, Dre in Massachusetts, you're on the
What's
Odd
up,
Couple
Dre?
Fox Sports Radio. What's up?
What's going on, guys? Happy holidays. I'm glad to hear the eggnog, and it seems like some of the coquito is flowing.
Oh, Snappo.
You know what I mean? Coming out there with rhymes and all the rest of that stuff is good. Look, I have to concur. It is Josh Allen to lose, and Lamar. That's the thing. It is the voter fatigue that's holding him back from getting this MVP. His numbers are pound for pound a little bit better, but I think people want to spread the wealth. And the third person that I would throw in there is Jared Goff and what he's doing with the Detroit Lions.
I don't think he's. I think Saquon has a better shot than Jared.
I think.
Goff.
Yeah.
I really do.
Oh no, he does. He does. But he might shock us with some votes because of the entertainment value. I mean, they've been the most, if not the most entertaining team in all of football.
But he's also had the 3 touchdowns in 65-yard games. I'm saying Jared Goff.
No, for sure.
And what do you know about that team? They're a running football team.
Well, they ain't been running no more.
No, but I'm just saying.
That's the thing. He won't win it, but he's been so fun, and people are going to honor the 2. They've only lost twice. Listen, I think people forget that matters in MVP voting.
If that's the case, then Sam
But that happens in every year.
Sam Darnold
In
would get
NBA
votes.
will
But
pick,
Sam
like-
Darnold would get votes then.
He might get one. He might.
I don't see. I don't think Jared Goff is going to be.
No,
in
I'll
there.
tell you the final ranking, and I think Lamar's going to be 3rd. I think it's going to be Josh, Saquon, Lamar. That's going to be the 3. I'm telling you.
Nope.
And Josh, and you're going to be shocked how
Not
Jared
gonna
Goff is going to be
happen.
right next to him. All right.